The group of friends were like a tight-knit family. They had grown up together in a small town surrounded by lush green mountains and crystal-clear lakes. They spent their childhood exploring the forests and swimming in the lakes, and as they got older, they continued to share their adventures. They were now in their early 20s, and although they had gone their separate ways for college, they always made time to come back to their hometown for summer break. The setting was a quaint little cabin in the woods that belonged to one of the friends' parents. It was a place where they had made countless memories, and they had decided to spend their summer break there together. The cabin was surrounded by tall trees and had a beautiful lake nearby. The air was fresh and crisp, and the only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the occasional bird chirping. It was a place where they could disconnect from the rest of the world and just enjoy each other's company. As they settled into the cabin, they were excited about the adventures and memories that were to come. Little did they know that their summer break would take a dark and unexpected turn. One afternoon, the group of friends decided to go on a hike through the woods. They stumbled upon an abandoned building that had been long forgotten. Curiosity getting the better of them, they decided to explore the old building. As they entered the building, they noticed that it was filled with old artifacts and antiques. They explored the dark and dusty rooms, finding old paintings, furniture, and other oddities. In one room, they stumbled upon an ancient artifact that caught their attention. It was a small, ornate box that was covered in intricate designs and symbols. They could feel an energy emanating from the box, and they knew that it was something special. They carefully opened the box and found an old parchment that was written in a language they couldn't understand. The friends were fascinated by the artifact and decided to take it back to the cabin with them. As they left the abandoned building, they could feel a strange energy surrounding them. They didn't think much of it at the time, but little did they know that their discovery would awaken an ancient and malevolent entity that had been dormant for centuries. Back at the cabin, the friends couldn't shake off the strange feeling that had engulfed them since they found the ancient artifact. They tried to decipher the writing on the parchment using online translation tools, but nothing seemed to work. As the night fell, they decided to put the box away and try to enjoy the rest of their trip. But as the night went on, strange things began to happen. They heard unexplained noises, felt cold drafts of air, and experienced strange visions. They tried to brush it off as their imagination, but it became clear that something was wrong. The energy that had surrounded them since they found the artifact had grown stronger, and they knew that they had awakened something ancient and malevolent. As they looked through the old books they had found in the abandoned building, they discovered that the ancient artifact they had found was a container for a powerful demon that had been sealed away for centuries. The demon had been awakened by the friends' curiosity, and it was now free to wreak havoc on the world once again. Filled with fear and desperation, the friends knew that they had to find a way to stop the demon before it was too late. They turned to the old books and texts for guidance and discovered that there was a way to banish the demon back to its realm using a powerful spell. But the spell was complicated and dangerous, and it would require all their knowledge and strength to perform it. The friends knew that they had to work together to stand a chance against the evil entity that they had unknowingly awakened. As the friends prepared to perform the banishing spell, strange occurrences began to happen around them. The air grew thick with an eerie silence, and they could feel the demon's power growing stronger. They heard whispers and saw shadows moving in the corners of their eyes. One of the friends began to experience unexplained visions and nightmares. Another began to feel a cold, clammy sensation on their skin, as if someone or something was touching them. The friends knew that the demon was getting closer and that they had to act fast. As they prepared for the ritual, the demon's power grew stronger, and they could feel its presence all around them. The temperature in the room dropped rapidly, and they heard a deep, menacing laughter that seemed to come from nowhere. They knew that they were in the presence of something truly evil. Despite their fear, the friends remained determined to banish the demon back to its realm. They focused their energy and began to perform the complex spell, using the knowledge they had gained from the old books. The demon fought back, attempting to break their concentration and stop the spell. But the friends were determined, and they continued to recite the spell, their voices growing louder and stronger. Suddenly, there was a blinding flash of light, and the demon let out a chilling scream. The spell had worked, and the demon was banished back to its realm, never to return. Exhausted but victorious, the friends collapsed onto the ground, knowing that they had saved not only themselves but also the world from a great evil. They had faced their fears and worked together to overcome them, proving that even in the face of darkness, the power of friendship and determination can conquer all. After the friends unknowingly awakened the ancient demon, they started to experience strange occurrences that they could not explain. They began to have nightmares and unexplained visions that left them feeling uneasy and on edge. One of the friends, named Alex, dreamed of a dark figure that seemed to be following him everywhere he went. Another friend, Sarah, saw strange symbols etched on the walls of the cabin, and she couldn't shake off the feeling that they meant something important. As the dreams and visions continued, the friends realized that they were not just random occurrences but were somehow connected to the ancient demon they had awakened. They knew that the demon was trying to communicate with them, but they didn't know what it wanted. The visions grew more vivid, and the nightmares became more intense. The friends began to feel as if they were losing their grip on reality, and they knew that they had to act. They started to research the demon and the ancient artifact they had found, hoping to find a way to stop the visions and nightmares. As they dug deeper, they discovered that the demon had the power to manipulate their dreams and visions, and it was using them to communicate with them. They realized that the demon was trying to trick them into releasing it from its containment. Determined not to be fooled, the friends devised a plan to confront the demon and banish it back to its realm. They knew that it would not be easy, but they were willing to do whatever it took to stop the nightmares and visions and put an end to the demon's evil reign. With newfound courage, they set out to face the demon, armed with knowledge and determination. They stood together, ready to fight for themselves and for the world, knowing that they had the power to overcome any obstacle. As the strange occurrences continued, the group of friends began to realize that they had awakened an ancient and malevolent entity that was now targeting them. They knew that they were in grave danger, and they had to find a way to stop the entity before it was too late. The friends started to notice a change in the environment around them. The temperature dropped, and they felt cold gusts of wind even though there was no source of wind. They heard strange noises, footsteps, and whispers that seemed to be coming from nowhere. They knew that this was not just their imagination, and that something sinister was lurking in the shadows. They searched for answers and discovered that the ancient entity they had awakened was a powerful demon that had been sealed away for centuries by ancient rituals. The entity was now free and was seeking revenge on those who had awakened it. The friends knew that they had to act fast and find a way to stop the demon before it was too late. They turned to the old texts and books they had found and discovered that there was a way to weaken the demon's power and send it back to its realm. However, the process was dangerous and required a lot of preparation and knowledge. They had to perform a complex ritual that involved ancient symbols, chants, and sacrifices. They knew that they had to work together and use all their resources to perform the ritual and stop the entity. As the night fell, they gathered in the cabin and began to perform the ritual. The atmosphere was tense, and they could feel the entity's presence growing stronger. They chanted ancient words and drew symbols on the ground, hoping that it would be enough to weaken the demon's power. Suddenly, there was a loud noise, and the room shook violently. They knew that the demon was fighting back, and they had to put all their strength into the ritual. They continued to chant and draw symbols, and finally, there was a blinding light, and the demon let out a deafening scream.